Lisa here with the Colored Umbrella. So we figured out how to make our snow globe solution, how to create the opening in a snow globe, but how do you fill it? There's a few different ways that people like to fill their snow globes, so I wanted to show you what my favorite way is to do that. For this tutorial today, I am going to be filling up this glass snow globe tumbler. It's a sublimation one. I already pressed my image on there. I used my tumbler press from Vinyl Fun. Whenever you have glass sublimation, you want to press it at 356 degrees for 120 seconds, flipping it so it ends up being 240 seconds total. You have a separate video though about glass sublimation. The nice thing with these glass sublimation ones is they already have that opening in there, so it's all ready to be filled and made pretty. You may have seen that some people, they get a squirt bottle, they fill it up with their liquid and their glitter ahead of time. That is one option that works great. I personally like to put my glitter directly into the cup just so I have a little bit more control of how much I put in, and then I know if I'm doing too much or too little. Totally personal preference. So for this video, I'm actually using some magic liquid. I do have a video showing how I make my slow flow and my fast flow mixtures. I do still need to get one for my magic liquid one that I use. Sometimes you'll see the magic liquid where it does not move at all. I like to still have movement though. I actually have, it's with my squirt bottle, I probably have about that much magic liquid and then the rest is distilled water, so I still get some good movement with it. So I would say it's more of like a medium flow. Whenever you make a snow globe tumbler, before you start putting your glitter in there, I always like to start by putting some liquid in my cup. So I just take my squirt bottle and I just squirt some in there, just so I have about that much in there. The reason for this is because when I start putting my glitter in here, I don't want it to get stuck down in the bottom. If you've made snow globe tumblers or if you've seen them, air bubbles and little air pockets are the enemy of snow globes. That when you get glitter stuck down in there, it is just holding those little air pockets in there. This helps to prevent those. Also, I don't want any of my glitter to stay dry when it's in here. So this is gonna help me once I put my glitter in there to get it mixed in there with that liquid. We'll get to that though. We're ready to fill this up. What do you need to make your snow globe tumbler and to fill it? So I'm gonna show you a couple things that definitely make it a lot easier, and also some things that are just essential. Obviously, you need your cup. It needs to be double walled and you have to have some type of opening. You need your mixture. We've already talked about that. Something else that I like to have handy in some squeeze bottles is I always put some distilled water in a bottle where it's just straight distilled water, as well as some isopropyl alcohol. And you wanna make sure you use at least 91%. A question I get asked all the time: why distilled water? Why do you have to use that? So if you use regular tap water, I mean, it's gonna look good at first, but eventually you're gonna end up with moldy water and you're gonna have weird little floaties. It's gonna look foggy and it's just not gonna look good. So you have to make sure you use distilled. Also, another thing is if you use tap water, you might notice that the water can kind of start to turn yellow as well, which when I first started, I did not know that. So I totally used tap water. Luckily, it was just in a personal cup of mine, and I can attest to the fact that yes, you will get mold and little floaties and the color will change. So distilled water, it's a type of purified water. It's basically all of the contaminants have been removed from it. And also it's removed any like fluoride, natural minerals, or anything like that that's found in tap water. So it's just basically very clean water, perfect for a snow globe. Another thing that you're gonna need, and you're gonna need a lot, some type of paper towels. I like to use dry baby wipes just because I can get more use out of them. And you can also use like a microfiber towel, like just something. You have to have something. Trust me, you'll find out quickly. You're gonna be wiping the top of your cup a lot. I also like to have some type of weeding tool, just something that's sharp or just something on the end. That way, if you get a glitter jam or you're having a hard time putting sprinkles in, you can just kind of use that to help push them in. Another thing that's totally optional is you can get one of these massage guns. This just kind of helps the process go a lot quicker and helps your glitter get in there faster. And this is not necessary. I didn't use one for a really long time. And of course, you need glitter. You can't have a snow globe tumbler without glitter, right? Well, I guess unless you're doing like a lava lamp or something like that, then you wouldn't need glitter. But for the most part, I'm gonna say 99% of the time you need some glitter. All right, and then this next thing, I am gonna show you a couple different options. When you put your glitter in your cup, if you put it just straight on here, it's gonna fall everywhere. I've seen a few different things where people will take paper and wrap that around the top. Another really popular one I've seen is where they'll take painter's tape and tape around the cup. And if you do that though, I would recommend putting some tape also on the inside just because this is sticky and you'll lose a lot of glitter. My preferred method for getting a nice little wall around the top of my cup though is using a tumbler shield. Tumbler shields, she posted a video where she did this and I thought that was so genius. You take their tumbler shields, which they have different sizes, which is really nice because cups come in different sizes and shapes. Normally you put these inside of your cup, so when you epoxy or spray paint, the inside of your cup stays clean and it just makes it easier. So what she did, she took her tumbler shield and turns it upside down, basically just puts it around the top of the cup. And this is really nice because you're not messing with any paper or the tape. I mean, the paper works good, but then sometimes the paper gets wet and then it gets weird. The tape does work good, but my favorite thing about this is just how quickly I can put this on and take it off. Just the convenience part alone. This is so nice. So whenever I do my glitter, personally, I always like to start with my finest glitter and move up to the thickest. My reasoning for that is because when your chunky glitter gets stuck down here, it is so hard to get it out. So I've discovered that by starting with the fine glitter, it's just gonna make your life a lot easier. Take it from me, fine to the chunky. Another thing that you can use and looks great in your cups is sprinkles. I went ahead and just pre-mixed the ones that I'm going to be using in this. You can honestly use any kind of sprinkles. You just want to make sure that they aren't too big where they won't fit in your opening, or that they won't be able to fall down into this area of the cups. If you're going to be using like the polymer clay sprinkles, just kind of make sure ahead of time that it's going to fit in there. So we have everything that we need. So we are ready to get our tumbler filled with glitter. Now I did put some liquid in there. So just to make sure my glitter doesn't have any problems, even if it feels dry, I always wipe it down after I put any liquid in there, because if this is wet at all, your glitter is gonna clump up and it's gonna make it really hard to put it in. I've got that dried off and I've got my tumbler shield on, so let's get to glittering. I like to start with my fine and move up to my chunky. So this is gonna be my finest one that I have. And you just put it on the cup. Now, if you don't have the massage gun thing, I just kind of tap it, kind of like you're burping a baby, and just kind of doing that to get your glitter in the opening. Now, once your glitter is in here, like I said, we don't want any dry glitter. So I'm just gonna take my cup, put it sideways, and I'm gonna use that liquid that I have in there. And I'm just going to go like this, just to make sure all of my glitter that I put in there gets mixed with that liquid. So now all of my glitter is down there. Now let's just keep doing our glitter. Before I put my sprinkles in, I do want to make sure that this area is all cleaned up right here. Just going to take a little bit of my liquid mixture and squirt that in there. I'm just gonna kind of work it. Any of it's being stubborn, you can even take some of your alcohol and squirt that in there, and that'll kind of help break that up. It's okay if you have glitter up here. I just don't want any like chunks of glitter. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Got my sprinkle mixture right here, and I'm just gonna do a little bit at a time. Once you have all of the glitter in your cup and you feel like you're happy with how it looks, you're gonna be ready to put in more liquid. So right now it's about half full. Before I start filling it up with liquid, something that's really important that I wanna do is I wanna make sure I don't have any glitter stuck at the top of my cup. Because like I said before, that's where all of your bubbles like to live, and we don't want them to live there. We need to kick them out. What I want you to do before you fill it up with any more liquid is I want you to take your cup and just shake it up. And if you get any that's stuck at the top, you can kind of tap it to help get it to move. If you ever get any spots that are just being really stubborn and are super stuck up in there, you can even take your massage gun if you have it, and I will just kind of put it along that top edge, or I will even put it inside of my cup. And of course I put a paper towel on the bottom to close my opening. All right, so once you're done with that and you feel like all of your glitter has liquid on it, you don't have any dry glitter and nothing is stuck up here, then I'm ready to add more liquid. Trust me though, it's worth taking that extra step now instead of just sticking all your glitter in there and then your liquid, letting it degas and then just hoping that you're good. You're gonna notice that once you go to seal it, the bubbles are just, it's just gonna help so much. I promise. Now I want to get more liquid in my cup. Before I do that, my glitter is going to start settling since I have it like this again. So I'm just going to give it a quick little tap. That way, if there are any air pockets, that's going to just help release them and help them come out. So now I'm ready just to fill it up with the rest of my liquid. I'm going to put my cup on an angle like this, and I'm going to slowly squirt that in. And this is where those paper towels come in handy. We'll dry that top off. Before I get into my degassing or debubbling, as I like to call it, I know I already shook it up to make sure that there wasn't any glitter that was stuck, but I want to make sure that there is for sure none that is stuck. So I am going to temporarily seal my opening so that I can really get it shaken up. I'll just take one of my paper towels that honestly that I've just been using and put it over my opening right here. And you can use painter's tape or packing tape, honestly, just whatever you have on hand. All right, and then once I've got that good, again, I'm just gonna shake it up and make sure I don't have any glitter that's stuck anywhere. Sometimes if you get any of that glitter that's just being really stubborn up there, I'll take my massage gun and I'm just going to go around my edge with that. You can also just like shake it and hit it with the palm of your hand. It kind of hurts after a while, so this comes in handy. Again, you can do it on the outside or you can even put it on the inside of your cup. Once I feel like I've got that really good, I'm just going to give it a good shake. Do that tapping again like I did before, because I want to make sure I don't have any air that's going to get stuck down in there. Also, by shaking it around, you're going to ensure that you don't have any dry glitter, which again, dry glitter is the enemy of your snow globe because that holds so much air. And dry glitter likes to get stuck. So if you've ever made a cup and you have like a giant section of glitter that's just like chilling right there, it's because it's dry. So when I'm feeling good about it, then I'm just going to take off my temporary seal that I made. A very professional temporary seal. You may notice that you have a bigger space at the top than you had before. If you do, that's good. That means that you've gotten rid of some type of air bubble or air pocket that was on there. So it's really normal for once you get it shaken up to have a bigger space at the top. Don't worry about that. I like to leave an air bubble on there. So this whole area right here does not have any liquid in there. And I like that because as those little micro bubbles float up to the top, because that's basically what your debubbling is doing, it's giving it somewhere to go. So I'm gonna let this sit for at least 24 hours. Then after that, I can go ahead and continue filling it all of the way and get it all sealed. If you have any questions at all though on the actual filling process or anything else with snow globes or tumblers in general, just let me know. I'm always happy to help. But I hope you have the best day ever and that I was able to answer any questions that you may have had already. But happy snow globe tumbler filling. Bye.